All right, y'all. Today we're looking at this boudoir photography business, and for its local searches, city searches, we're going to see if it has BSS. So we're here in the GBC universe, where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, which is full spectrum intent capture. More info on that. Pinned video, whatever, pinned post, pinned profile, somewhere out there. And that is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. Those rising are missing some, or those rising are successfully getting all different types of people with different intent all along our intent ladder here into their business, or to know about their business at least. And those following are, missing out on getting some cohort of these people throughout our intent ladder here. Now, the highest intent people over on the left, BSS, that's what we focus on here. If we're missing those, probably because of BSS. The lowest intent people, but the largest volume of people over on the right. That's our other brand. That's where we talk about BLCS. It's our Boudoir Facebook Ad Doctor brand. That's where we're working with Boudoir Facebook advertisers running more than 10 grand a month in Boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, we're focusing on social search, Google search, people looking for boudoir photo shoots. The highest intent people closest to the money. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And 0 slots on page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper, which means we're effectively invisible because the approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we want to hit this approximately 80% cohort. We want to get as many of them as possible, highest chance they click on us. And that means we got to be on page 1. Page 2, we're invisible. Page 1, we got a shot. But even 1 slot on page 1 is not enough because there's 10 slots, 9 other competing boudoir photographers. Everyone's got 1 slot. We look the same as everyone else. And when we look the same as everyone else, well, we get price shopped. They go down the Google search, they literally open up every single link, contact everyone, get a quote from everyone. So we got to show up more. So that lowers the chance of them price shopping us or even knowing other competitors even exist. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's not normal to have that few. That's a tiny number of slots on page 1. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. First one, market saturation, basically everyone knows about. Second one, basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, more peeps, seems like every week, get a new iPhone, get a new, basically new iPhone, turn up their Google My Business profile, got their website, saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. And, someone gets a new camera, they're posting in the mom groups that they also do boudoir photo shoots. So it's market saturation. More sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. But this is not really the killer. The actually killer, the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses I've seen, is the false belief of page 1 equality. It's where everyone, accepts, thinks it's normal that, every boudoir photographer gets like 0 or 1 slots on page 1. And, maybe if you added 1 slot on page 1, you get kicked off to page 2. That's normal. That's how it is. And yeah, you kind of just got to take your 1 slot wherever it lands. That is 100% incorrect. And this like an implicit belief. People aren't actually thinking about this and saying, do I agree with this, yes or no? It's kind of implicit. People agree on it because there's never been a word for it for people to agree or disagree or say it's true or false. Now, I know this is false because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google in 10 days. So I already know page 1 equality, that's false. That's not even real. What actually is real is Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the work to take. And we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because look, if we're being pushed off to page 2 and deeper, where we already know approximately 20% of people go, then, I mean, we disappear, and eventually our business, if we stay there, our business is going to disappear eventually as well. So it's kind of a canary in the coal mine. And if we only got one slot on page one, we're like the same as everyone else. We're disappearing as well. So we got our kind of before stay here. Disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. So now here we go. We got a solution. BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka our proprietary S cubed methodology. And we've been working on this for about 7 months. Finally bringing it to market. This is exactly what I used to again go from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 slots, page one on Google in 10 days. And what's magical about this is it's the only thing I've seen that is able to successfully outcompete market saturation. So basically, if we use S cubed methodology, let's say saturated social search, where the first 300 search results for a high intent keyword for someone looking for a boudoir photo shoot is us and only us. And it's same across all the social networks, no matter where they search. And those are all the same as Google as well. That's what the first 30 pages is all us. 10 organic search results per page, 30 pages of search results to consume our 300 kind of positions. Now, if we're in Phoenix, Arizona, we got a million boudoir photographers total competing in that market. Everyone's got a website. Everyone's trying to rank on page one. But if we've done enough S cubed methodology to, get those first 300 slots of organic search everywhere, social and, search engine search. Who are boudoir photography buyers gonna see when they search? They're basically only gonna see us. So whose business is going to be growing? Basically only ours. They would have to go to page 31 on Google search to find anyone else. So, and that's if there are a million boudoir photographers, if we do S cubed methodology enough. So, and if there are a million in our city. So again, S cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows us to successfully outcompete market saturation. And I got to show my results in it a little bit. Now, once you're with S cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. So we no longer look like everyone else with either 0 or 1 slot. And hopefully we hit our GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots is what we want to hit. Now, an extra bonus of doing S cubed methodology is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making this invisible. It's the same, kick them off page one for social search, all the social networks, as well as Google. And we know on Google that approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page two. So for the bulk of the searchers, the potential buyers, the more slots we take up at page one, the more they never even see or know about our competitors existing when scrolling through Google search to see, who to click on and, whose website to fill out and contact. And that's what we care about, the 80%, approximately 80%, the bulk that's never going to page two. We want to capture as many of them as possible. So every page one link we get is a less boudoir photographer we're being compared against or, price shopped against. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So that's when we get 2 or more, hopefully, GBC minimum 3 or more, 3 out of 10 or more. Slots where we're actually being seen. We're not one slot like everyone else, looking like everyone else. People don't even notice us. I mean, they'll click on us, but we really don't capture their attention. 2, there's probably one other person that's got 2 slots anyways. We really got to hit 3 of the GBC minimum, 3 out of 10 to get this, have this strong boudoir search visibility. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our micro universe here. So disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is solved by is caused by market saturation and page one equality, which was the false belief of page one equality. Now we know it's false. Now we also have a solution that can solve it, our S cubed methodology, where we achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So my results using this S cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. AO overview, didn't hit that yet. But now we go down to organic search below the Google Map Pack. We got page 1, or organic slot 1, IG, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So literally, dude, this took 10 days. 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days for this keyword. And if someone's searching this, who are they going to? You think they're going to the person in slot 9, or you think they're going to click on one of mine or all of mine and see it's all me over and over and over and over and over again, and kind of just say, wow, Google keeps recommending this guy. I should probably go with this guy, even if there are other competitors. It's the sheer volume of how much they're seeing us. Be like, why is Google recommending this person so much? There must be some reason. They must be good. They must be the best in the universe. And so this result I've gotten it for myself, kind of increasing this method over the last 7 months. Now, onto the main event here. We're going to see if this boudoir photography business, see if it's got BSS for its local or its city search, see if it's hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. So let's get into this. We're going to Germantown, Tennessee, and Memphis, Tennessee. All right, see what we got here. We're in Germantown, Tennessee. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, we got 1. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 for local search. Let's go to city. City is always harder to rank for. There's more people competing. Oh, nice. We got organic slot 1. That's great. So we got 1 out of 10. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 here. We got 1 out of 10 for local. We got 1 out of 10 for Memphis. So yeah, dude, we got BSS for both, and we are hitting the GBC universe recommended minimum. A 3 out of 10. Neither of those searches. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, so you've done you've done your local search, you've done your city search for the highest intent keywords that a boudoir buyer would be searching, and you either have BSS for one of them, or for one of them, or both, you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google, and you understand the false belief of page 1 equality, and you're like, oh yeah, that actually makes sense. We can actually take as many slots as we want, because Google will give them to us if we put in the work. And so you're seeing the SQ methodology is literally exactly what you've been waiting for. And you're like, yes, this is the perfect solution for me. So I got to use this thing. And you understand the market saturation. The 2 prongs, people get new iPhones, people get new cameras, kind of the gear saturating the market. But when you actually look at the outcomes of SQ methodology, you're saying, okay, first page, yeah, more kind of the initial benefits, more page 1 slots, and secondarily, kicking more competitors out of page 1 slots and off to page 2, effectively making them invisible. So you're liking those initial benefits, and you're looking ahead from kind of at this market saturation thing, and you're seeing AI is taking more and more people's jobs. You're like, uh-oh, there's kind of going to be a much higher increasing number of boudoir photographers entering the marketplace, and over and over time, as AI takes more people's jobs, that's on top and above kind of standard new gear people entering the marketplace. So you're seeing, man, you decide you're going to fortify your spot on page 1. Literally have so many slots on page 1 that you actually have like backup links in waiting that Google wants to rank on page 1 but can't, because we've taken so many slots that literally kind of the new peeps that come into the market will never even be able to rank on page 1 on Google. So it's kind of like you're saying that you also want to use that SQ methodology, which it's perfect for, to kind of fortify those levees. Like down in Nolens, Louisiana, they got the levees to keep the ocean out. You want to set up your boudoir page 1 domination levees. So you're seeing SQ methodology is perfect for that, and you want to achieve page 1 visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also liking the future future benefits of successfully executing SQ methodology every single day, which is every single day we execute it correctly, we are actually we're creating these invisible thematic keyword columns around our brand, or like attached to our brand, kind of like columns like the Parthenon in Greece, or spokes going to the the middle of the hub of the bike tire. And these things are basically AI mindshare. So every day we're building that up, and increasing the probability. We're showing up here the AI overview, the most premium placement right now, showing only 1 slot, the primary slot. I mean, this is going to help get buyers, obviously. And the secondarily, kind of the other longer term benefit is every day we do this correctly, we're increasing the probability that standard AI search and all these different AI search apps recommend us as well. ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search. And, Google's still approximately 80% of all search, but I haven't done standard Google search probably like a year. I've always been using the AI overview button. It's basically like summarize it for me. I don't want to read nothing. Um, and so you're seeing that. You're seeing people use AI. So it's literally more and more and more every single day. And so you need to be increasing the probability of showing up on AI search. And dude, last time I search for Boudoir photographer with AI search, I literally brought up 3 of them. But then I actually went like through Google and all these different searches to find how manual kind of like manually how many are out there in the city. And there's approximately like 60. So dude, we gotta get on these top 3 slots. And again, what's the best solution out there that helps with that? S-cubed methodology. It helps give all these benefits. And you're also seeing that you've decided that you're going to be the first mover in your city on using S-cubed methodology, because my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city and lock everyone else out. So you're saying you can get all these initial benefits, get all these future benefits, and lock out all your competitors from using the strategy and build up kind of those invisible thematic keyword column momentum, like backend AI mindshare, while your competitors have no idea what's going on. And we're able to put so much distance between you and your current competitors, and definitely any future competitors, that makes it a no-brainer. And conversely, if one of your competitors was to come with me first, and I would lock you out, then you're also seeing you would actually have to rederive S-cubed methodology all on your own. You have no idea if you would had derived it or rederived it correctly or not. And then you'd have to successfully equal our execution every single day. But if you did that, you would simply maintain the gap that me and your competitor would have already gotten ahead of you with. And so to kind of close the gap, you'd actually have to out execute us by like 2 or 3x every single day and begin pulling those, invisible thematic keyword columns, momentum, mindshare, AI mindshare we had already been achieving away from us and towards yourself. And you still would not even have 100% confidence you've derived S-cubed methodology correctly in the first place. And so doing all that, like, dude, who's got 60 to 80 hours in a day to do all that stuff? So you decide to screw that. You're going to be the first mover in this. You don't want to deal with a competitor getting it. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. And I'll shoot me a DM when the hospital is open for new patient intake. Hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. So you cannot DM me even if you wanted to. And no, you cannot work with me right now, even if you wanted to. But when I do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify for using our S-cubed methodology.